Hello, I'm Ahmad and I'm one of the English tutors at KSG Learning. So I've been tutoring English for a number of different years with many age categories. Now, we will be focusing today on the 11 plus exam, verbal reasoning, and the topic in particular will be moving letters. So in this task you're required to move one letter from one word to another word to create two brand new words, okay? So an example of that would be here. If you can see tint and ear, if you remove the T from tint, you'd be left with tin, and if you moved it over to ear, you would create the word tear, so you'd be left with tin and tear. You can see there how just moving one letter to the other word has created two new words. Another key component of this task is that the order of the other letters cannot change. They must stay in the same order. Okay? So how to approach this task, you may ask. And it is fairly simple. The best thing to do in this task is trial and error. So we have an example here of two words. We've got boat and flat. So we can start by removing the first letter from boat, which is obviously B, and see if the remaining letters make a word without rearranging the order of the letters. So we're left with O-A-T, oat. That is a word, isn't it? So now see if you can find a place for the letter B to fit in the word flat to create a new word. So you can see some of the examples that I've put here. You'd be left with B flat, flat, all words that would be very difficult to pronounce, and they're obviously not words. So because you cannot make a new word using the letter B, you'd obviously know that it's time to move on to the next letter. So in that case, what we would do is we would then move on to the letter O. So that's the next letter in the word boat. Okay. So when we take away the letter boat, we are left with bat. This is still a word, of course. Bat is an animal, isn't it? So we found one word, there's still one more word to find. We'll have to see now if we can make a place for the letter O in the word flat to create another word. So these are the options we've got. O flat, folat, float. Now, we'd circle that because float is of course a word. So that's what we'll be left with, float. So if we remove the O from boat, we're left with bat. And when we move it over to this word, we're left with float. So that would be our answer. So yeah, it's a very simple task, just a lot of trial and error, and you would be led towards your answer. I hope you enjoyed that tutorial. I hope you have a lovely day. Goodbye.